Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob B, and joining me once again are our partners in crime, Boucher and Wyatt Turk from Ghazghkull Painting. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Haspil is he on lockdown? Where's Haspil?
He is morphed into Ghazghkull.
Oh.
And is currently raging throughout the countryside.
The quarantine is actually for him. It has absolutely nothing to do with the actual
It's
virus.
a conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
It's the Green Menace.
And the whole cat. Wow, if you had asked us last week if we thought this week would be going the way it's going, I don't think any of us would have predicted this at this point.
And the iconic and always, legendary words of Ron Burgundy. That escalated quickly.
It did escalate quickly. Even though I gave everybody the answer, I solved the crisis on the last podcast, and it's just if you have coronavirus, don't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, just don't go anywhere.
Yeah, just don't go anywhere.
What do you?
People obviously did not heed my wise wisdom.
Nah,
gone places, touched things. Now we're in this mess.
Goddamn genius. But it's crazy. I mean, like, obviously, last episode we speculated Adepticon would potentially cancel.
Yep.
That's how much has happened. That is how much has happened. Put it in perspective. We were like, we'll see. I don't know. A lot of people are still planning on going. That next morning they canceled. So it feels like that's so long ago, but it literally was a week ago. Adepticon canceled. And everyone obviously knows how this is affecting them and the industry independently. It's only been a week and it is escalated, man. Like, straight up, shout out, to all the vendors, everybody who lost their ticket money, everybody everywhere. Like, that is just our industry. It's really easy to, like, how does this affect us? How does this affect me? Right? Like, shit, man, my hotel is fighting me on a deposit. Oh shit, man, I lost or they're giving me a credit for my airplane ticket. This sucks, but it scales everything 100%. I got people who are like, one of my friends is a martial arts instructor. He's like, this is like the apocalypse for martial arts. He's like, we're all bankrupt, 100%. Like, we don't have a business if people can't come and learn their trade. Like, that's another business never thought of, right? Everybody, man, this is crazy as all hell.
It's bad. And, we're definitely doing what we can on the hobby side of things, for all the folks that would have gone to Adepticon and had those sales. We're getting together the virtual vendor hall, and I sent out a bunch of emails to everybody. Hopefully I hear back from them by the end of the week so we can get the post together. And there's a Facebook post on Long War Network, Facebook, Spiky Bits Hobbies, Facebook, Spiky Bits. Facebook
great job.
page.
Rob, that's such a great move. Because look, Adepticon is the biggest, like, miniature centric trade show in the game, and like, it sucks, man. You don't get to go, and it sucks. It fell apart. It does. It also sucks real bad economically for our industry when there's lots of vendors who go there and make 10, 20, 30, 40% of their annual revenue there. Like, that is disastrous. So there will be a virtual vending hall post on the biggest, most eyes on it platform in the game today, spikybits.com. And so anybody who's a vendor there who hasn't checked their email lately, maybe they heard this podcast or one of their friends heard this podcast and one of those people, let them know that's happening. Trying to put all this in one place so everyone can have sort of the vendor experience and all the deals in one link, one post that a million people are going to see. That's how we got to do as a community right now.
Yeah, it's all about just keeping it moving forward. Because, a lot of stores are closing down too, for you can just come in and buy stuff, but you can't stay and play. It's a weird time for sure, all across the board. But
no doubt,
sell stuff.
Pretty much. We will talk about Tabletop Simulator later in the episode. I was going to say, like, obviously, don't count on going to too many events in the near future. So luckily Tabletop Simulator exists, and
Yeah.
Haspil has promised to give me and Wyatt a cool crash course tutorial. Me and Wyatt are immediately going to start playing on it. We'll keep you guys updated on how we do it. And of course, you know how we are. We're going to be quarantined, bored out of our fucking minds. I could see some interesting content.
Maybe even a virtual live battle report here on Long War TV.
I am definitely not opposed to it. There might be some interesting virtual battle report content coming to you guys very soon. Some wacky shit. I'm just saying shit's going to get wacky. With having said that, Wyatt, do a joke.
Okay. Would you rather have to fart loudly, like excessively loudly, every time you have a serious conversation, or have to burp every time after a kiss?
Okay, real quick. All kisses, no matter what.
Yes.
Now, who determines if a conversation is serious or not? Who stated am I being held to?
Oh, you'll know.
No, because I'll rip
your beehole will decide.
My beehole will decide.
Yeah.
Now, does this conversation starting fart, does it scale with what I've eaten that day? Does it always stink super bad? Like, give some more details.
It's just like embarrassingly loud. And it's not at the start. It's like during. It's always at an awkward point.
Oh, okay. So most awkward point, loudest fart possible.
Yeah. It could be like, Kenny, I have some bad news. You're being audited by the IRS, and then you rip ass and make the window shake.
Oh man. Wyatt, some serious news. Dad had a heart attack last night.
Yep. That's when it would happen.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's brutal. What are you thinking, Rob?
I'm thinking these last couple ones have been pretty easy for me because, like, when I kiss, I'm getting in there. I'm taking in a lot of air, like going at it.
Don't tell me you burp anyway after kisses.
I mean,
of course he does.
Jeez.
And let's be real. Every time I talk, I have a decently long conversation with somebody, I'm probably ripping ass regardless. So I'm like, I don't know.
It's that gluten-free life, man.
It's just another would you rather that I already do. I don't have a preference.
All right,
I have to choose.
I'm going to go with burp every time I kiss.
Okay.
I'll go with farts because I like farting.
I only kiss one person, my lovely Lady Bonet, and if I explain to her why this is my life now and what my life would have been if I didn't choose this, I think she would concur and she'd grant me some type of amnesty.
Until like a week later.
she just pulled back.
She would rethink that conversation.
We'd turn into more of a hugging couple.
Here you go.
A lot more hugs. Oh my God. If someone kisses me, do I have to burp too? Like on a cheek or something?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Any and all.
You don't know about that one. That's rough. Like, what if your grandma kisses you on the cheek and you're like, blah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She'd forgive me. I'm doing kiss burp.
Yeah, it's better than being stinky, I guess.
I mean, I don't have a problem farting. It's just that, like, man, I don't want to be like in this exact situation that Wyatt just determined. Like, I feel like I'd be like despised by all very soon.
That's true.
Can't do it. Good one, Wyatt. Way to keep it funny. Way to keep it like loose and sexy.
Gotta lighten the mood in these trying times.
Mm-hmm. Rob, you got some tabletop market watch for us?
Got a fuse. Did we go over the value completely last week on the Prophecy of the Wolf? No, I guess we did.
Predictions. No, you made predictions last week.
Okay. Well, we'll see how. I guess we'll see how they stack up because I don't even remember what I said. But we'll find out. All right. So coming this week on pre-order is the Saga of the Beast expansion book. in a normie and also limited edition status. So the regular is 40 and the limited edition is 80, but that's mail order only. Then they've got the new, Prophecy of the Wolf starter box for $170 US, and some other books and such. But you can find a breakdown of all that stuff that's coming out. Some heresy books and things like that, but nothing super crazy. So it's basically just Saga of the Beast. So, when we start looking at the box, Prophecy of the Wolf's 170. It's the exact contents that were in the preview video. There's no other new models in it, unfortunately. So we don't know what those Devastator Primaris drawings are going to be. Maybe they'll come out later in some other box set. But for now, it's just the 10 Primaris Infiltrators, multi-part kit ones. Ragnar on the good guy side, and then Ghazghkull what's his name? What's the little guy's name? I already forgot.
Mordecai or something?
Yeah, Malachi. That's
Malachi.
it. And then a box of Orc Knobs and a box of Orc Mega Knobs. So add all those together. And if you put a price on Ragnar at $40, which I think we were saying before, that's probably about right, because that's what Mephi was.
Makari.
Oh, Makari. There you go. And Ghazghkull, I don't know. I don't know what to put on him price-wise. I'm feeling, Abaddon and Guilliman are 60. So I could see him being 70 because, his little buddy's in there, and it's kind of two models. I think it'll be 70. I don't think it'll be 60. I think they're pushing the envelope on it. I think it'll be 70-ish. So that puts the total value of the box at $265, I believe, for 170. So, we said this on the webcast. GW slowly sliding back the value in these starter boxes. You could argue that more came in the Blooded Phoenix box, which was the first starter box that came out for Psychic Awakening back in, I think, October or something. But remember, it included, what did it have in there? Didn't it come with the book? No, it did not come with the book. It only came with new models and old models. So I actually don't know why that was $230 and this one's $170. If you look at the difference between the two, the Blooded Phoenix box was 25 models for $230, whereas this box is 22 models for $170. So, until we see the actual prices, which probably won't be for another 6 months or so, I imagine Ghazghkull will come out by himself in October. Seems like the right thing to do, but who knows with all the things going on in the world right now. But it's a decent value, but it's not as much of a value as we've seen out of boxes in the past. I feel like is an accurate breakdown on it.
It's funny. So it's basically just older GW prices. When you pay $170 for all that stuff, it's like, GW has been creeping the cost of the models up over the last 25 years. It just reminds me of what I would have spent a couple years ago.
There's something to be said for that for sure. I think everybody agrees they'd like to see more value for 170 in there, but it's just not there. But some folks will buy it for Ghazghkull. I mean, Ghazghkull might be pre-ordering right now on eBay. I haven't looked. I imagine he's going to go for at least $50, if not more. I
just looked. There's only one entry for the new Ghazghkull, and it's $48.
That seems pretty low from what I expected.
Well, the box isn't even on pre-order yet, so I imagine that most of the people that are going to box break them don't have any stock to list. So come Saturday, we'll probably see that number jump quite a bit. I mean, I thought about buying it, but it was from the UK and they couldn't even guarantee it until April 15th. So I don't feel like waiting that long.
I imagine there's going to be some delays and such too, because we're seeing, warehouse delays, shipping delays and such. Game stores are missing their shipments because, the FedEx drivers are coming at weird times. Some game stores aren't open late, anymore. And because, really, what's the point of hanging out in a game store till 12 o'clock at night if you literally can't come there and play, right?
Exactly.
So, it's a weird, wild world right now.
It's an example of the issue, economically.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hobby podcast, all right? So we keep it in the hobby. We keep it in. This is about 40K. This is about hobby stores. Like, this is bad for hobby stores, man. You know what they've been saying? Like, go and buy a gift card from your local restaurant and shit like that if you still want to support them, whatever you can. There's lots of things you can do to still support your local hobby, if you can, if you have the means.
Yeah, 100%. But it's just something to think about. Also, speaking of supporting the hobby, Secret Weapons Kickstarter, they rebooted it. Because I guess there was an issue with the way people were pledging. Like, it was just set for $1 and the shipping there was some issue. So they restarted it. They've got all the stretch goals unlocked, or I think a ton of them already. Yeah,
there was
unlocked.
like an issue with like the pledge manager, like you lock in for $1, but like people were like walking away from the computer, not coming back. So it wasn't reaching the stretch goals fast enough.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we fucked that up. And so to create more value and more product for you, they've unlocked a lot of the stretch goals from the previous launch, and it's already all there for you. And so get your HD bases. I actually just had a good text chain with Justin today from Secret Whip Miniatures, and they're down at the warehouse. Him and his crew just fucking handling business.
Yep, it's crazy out there. So it's already funded, so definitely check it out. I know we've been talking about it a lot, but it's up for another.
When's the fulfillment supposed to happen for this?
I want to say it was summer. Let me go look. No, excuse me, January 2021.
Oh, yep. All right.
That's Kickstarter live these days.
Yeah.
Kickstarters are pre-selling.
Yeah,
it's like you could just launch a pre-sale to fund your product on your website, but Kickstarter's created a brand, and people are way more willing to go there than your website and pre-order.
Mm-hmm. Even though they technically don't have to deliver and things like that, but I think if you're pledging a brand that and you believe in,
especially a brand that works the Kickstarter model and has delivered multiple times.
Yeah.
I've had all these HD bases in my hands for the last couple of weeks, and I've used them on a few different models. Fucking love them. I want those lava bases, and I want to do a Salamander army just because of it.
Oh yeah, they're for real. They're kind of poppy.
They make me happy.
So I put the link in chat. I'll try to remember to put it in the comments if you're listening to it on YouTube or something after we release it. After the live recording here. Model Masters, Tester Model Masters. You probably heard me and Kenny talk a lot about the dull coat, the lusterless.
Yep.
They got gloss and semi-gloss, which are great. It looks like Tester Model Master across the board is being discontinued now here in the States. First, they weren't shipping it out of country. Now they're just not reproducing it. They're shipping out the existing stock from the warehouse. Yep. So
don't panic though. Their stock version, like the blue label, is pretty much the same shit. Right. I don't believe it is the same shit because in the last 9 years that I've been doing this, and for 6 of it, I was a professional painter doing armies. I used both products extensively over that time period. And the only time between those two products I did have an issue was one time, and it was blue label. It was never Model Masters.
Right.
But still, one issue, one time, still fixed. Almost any time you get a frosting scenario with rattle can varnish, it's undone by simply letting it dry, then gloss varnishing it with a different gloss, letting it dry, and then matte varnishing it. 99% of the time, that fixes the problem.
You can also hit it with some watered down isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, we've done that before in the past. Just kind of spray it down, but there's different ways to do it. So be on the lookout if you're, at Hobby Lobby or one of the local brick and mortar stores, and you need to stock up. Probably now's the time to do it. We're all preppers at heart, whether it's hobby or otherwise, right? So I have a few cans myself. I'm kind of sad about some of the dark metal colors going away for my Titans, but we'll just have to come up with something else. I don't know. I'll have to start looking around. No big deal. Back to scheming.
Yeah, dark silver from Pro Acryl is pretty dark.
I was looking at all the pro acrylics, and I'm definitely very impressed with their range of metals. Plus, they have a metalizer too, which is nice, so you can turn any color into metal.
I've done a lot of videos on using their metallic medium because their metal formula is very. If you're a fan of like scale metallics, it's like more of that like slightly more lacquer, less glittery.
Oh, some more matte.
Definitely, like it's real easy to apply. It works real well, and so they do just in their set. Like, here's the medium that we use, and I fucking played with it like crazy on tons of models, and I've gotten some incredible results. Like, it's amazing, and they're back in stock now. Then they say they're mostly back in stock now because, unfortunately, I think they pulled stock for Adepticon, right? So they're back in stock. Know that if you've been waiting to pull the trigger, go pull the trigger.
Yeah,
I need to make a refill on my couple of my metallics because I use dark silver like all the time.
I wish they do rattle cans maybe in the future. That'd be good.
I hope they don't because rattle cans suck.
Yeah, it's save time though.
Just because you have a different life than us doesn't mean rattle cans suck.
Dude,
I feel like it does.
Don't shame him because he can't lift things over his head. It's okay.
Definitely lift things over my head.
Just not when they start counter height, that it's really precarious.
Yeah, large containers full of a sloshing liquid. Probably not a great idea.
Well, we all got problems.
That's my cross to bear.
Right. We talked a little bit earlier about the virtual vendor hall for Adepticon vendors. Really, anybody that's having a sale in the hobby space, send us an email. We'll get you added over to the list. That I think the first post will go out on Monday with anybody that's having a sale. Because obviously the lockdowns and the quarantines and things. A lot of folks out of Europe aren't because they can't ship right now. But I said, hey, let us know if you are going to be doing something because we'll definitely communicate it out to everybody. But being able to go to one place to kind of see all the different sales.
It's important. Almost every year without fail, your most viewed post is the Black Friday post.
It's one of the big ones.
And so this is going to be on that scale. So to help everyone out who got fucked by Adepticon's cancellation as a vendor, anybody else who's experiencing issues, getting throttled, that this is important. So if you're hearing this, you're a friend of somebody who is one of these vendors, tell someone. Because it's going to get eyes on it, and it's always, we got the numbers that fucking post always demolishes in views.
Yep. So we're doing what we can to keep pushing the hobby forward during this down. We'll call it the hobby downtime, hobbying from home. It's a working title.
Business as usual for most of us. Hobby shut-ins.
Hobby shut-ins. Yeah.
I've seen some hilarious memes. Me before self-distancing or social distancing, me after. It's the same picture.
No, there's some good ones. Evan Valdek's in it. It's been putting in some overtime on them.
Some dank memes.
.nug.
So, is that it? You want to talk about Tabletop Sim?
I think so. I mean, do you want to do that as a separate segment? I personally don't know a whole lot about it. I've used it a couple times. I mean, it's
just like a public service announcement. It exists. Haspil's been swearing by it for years.
Oh yeah. He sends us pics all the time, like him playing
screenshots. Tabletop Sim available on Steam, and apparently you can play tabletop games like Warhammer 40K.
You can get X-Wing, you can get Warhammer 40K. It's all in there. Haspil's gonna show Kenny and Wyatt a little bit, like more about it and stuff. But it's super easy to pick up and learn. Like the hard part is finding all the things.
Wait till we get a virtual tournament or a ladder or a league.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That might be what them. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for it because I want to play some fucking 40K. So
yep. Thinking about doing another Blood Bowl league like we did last summer. That went over really well, so probably be putting that out soon.
Tabletop Sim.
.com.
So obviously today in the show, the big buzz is going to be Ghazghkull and Ragnar rules breakdowns because we did get to see a lot of those. Last week, all we saw was pictures. We saw a bunch of hype. Ghazghkull versus Ragnar, hyping it up like it was going to be this huge fight of the century. And now we have some rules to kind of back up that fight. And we get to predict point costs and talk about, if these models are fucking gonna fuck people up on the tabletop. But before that, you wanted to do a little homebrew segment because this last week we had some GTs. We don't know how much more GT data we're going to get in the next couple of weeks. So you want to talk about TJ Lanigan's list?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can definitely talk about that. Like, if
his list is pretty cool.
So he won a GT. He did really well at LVO with his Possess Bomb. He was running, in my opinion, the perfect list, the perfect Possess Bomb. He made it to the Shadow Round and lost in the Shadow Round. So he went real far, top 8. Well,
you could argue he got
there's a lot of controversy there in that loss. Tons.
There was controversy.
Tons. So his new list is out. You looking at it, Wyatt?
I have it pulled up.
Walk us through it.
All right, so he's got a Supreme Command of Chaos Demons, Slanesh, 2 Heralds of Slanesh, and a Contorted Epitome.
So he unlocks the Loki. That's important there. He wants the Epitome, but he wants to unlock the Loki cheap.
He's got a Battalion of Chaos Space Marines. In this list, it does not list a Legion, so maybe he was...
I think it's Alpha Legion. I remember having this conversation with him. It's Alpha Legion.
Okay, so Alpha Legion. He's doing Demonkin Ritualists Specialist Attachment. He's got a Dark Disciple for the Dark Apostle, so he does his prayers on 2s. Master of Possession and a Sorcerer. 3 units of Cultists, Marco Slanesh. Then he's got 2 15-man Possessed squads with the Icon of Excess, Marco Slanesh. And then he has a Thousand Suns Supreme Command with Arabin and 2 Demon Princes.
The American
and
Express
1 unit of Scarab Occult Terminators.
So this was his Adepticon list he was playtested. And so he's shifted off of the Nurgle Possess Bomb in favor of 2 slightly smaller Slanesh. In the beginning, it was all about Slanesh. So in this configuration, because of the Loki that he's getting from that 1 Supreme Command, as long as they're within 6 inches of one of those characters, these Possess models can advance and charge. They also have access to Warp Time. So you're looking at a 9-inch redeploy because of Forward Operator stratagem. Then from that position, a 7-inch move plus D6. Still be able to charge, and possibly a Warp Time 7 inches plus D6. The Epitome moves quick, can stay in range, keep the Loki on him, and also she can get within 12 inches, she can stop people from falling back. So there's a lot of touch you real fast, alpha strikey moves, keep you locked in combats you don't want to be in, conceal, disallow the shooting to the second Possessed squad perhaps, and Aramon and those 2 Demon Princes, Cult of Magic, standard loadout. That's an American Express card. Those 3 models do work. They will put out a bunch of mortal wounds you don't expect, and they will snipe the shit out of a character every turn. Like a 5 to 6 wound character every turn without flinching. It's a good list. I wasn't sure about it at first when he was telling me about it. I mean, he just went and he won something with it, so valid playtest.
But yeah, there was a lot of that was a 5-round event too.
I think he had 30, 40 people, 5 rounds. So that's
I think it was more than that.
Perhaps.
It was it was right up there in New York. So I'll go look. But I'm pretty sure it was more than 50.
Yep. And with the ritualists, they're doing it's the standard Possess Bomb shenanigans. They're getting the extra attack. They're doing mortal wound when they roll 6s a wound. They have access to the cool new stratagems, +1 strength, +1 attack. They do a lot of work if they can stay near that master possession. Pretty strong.
Oh, there actually wasn't 50.
Yeah, only 27 people showed up. So that's what I'm saying is that's probably one of the last That's what I'm saying. Is like, it's important to mention people out there playing 40K, but there's probably going to be a big break for a little while. TJ crushed it out with that list. I'm going to plug that list in the Tabletop Simulator and see how good it is.
Yeah, I think one of the things to remember too is there's plenty of dope ass lists that have hit since LVO. I think we're going to start featuring more, even just digging into the LVO, just the top 50, the top 100. There's a ton of dope lists in there that are all.
I mean, you're right. Top 100 is totally a thing because that event is so fucking big.
Yeah, I mean, there was crazy stuff in there once you start digging into it and looking at it. There was a lot of stuff that I saw. 4-night lists with AdMech battalion. You still get like 14 CPs out of it. It's kind of crazy. You don't have to have a Smash Captain, but there's a lot of cool stuff still out there. So there's plenty more to talk about for sure going forward until we get some more tournaments under our belt, hopefully.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's do it. Let's talk about these new rules. Let's talk about the fight of the century.
Well, now that we have these rules, I don't know if it is, in fact, the fight of the century. I think it's Gaz takes 4 wounds, then absolutely deletes Ragnar.
That adds up. That checks out. But why? Why is he only going to take 4 wounds? Doesn't Ragnar do like 10 attacks or some shit?
Yeah, but Gaz can only take 4 damage in each phase of the game. So when we first saw this model, we were like, well, let's hope he can't be targetable. Let's hope he doesn't have more than 10 wounds.
And then we got the cool Age of Sigmar rules port, which is kind of cool, because
walk us through the data. Walk us through the data sheets. Cell phone pick. What's he got? Give me his stats. Give me his abilities. I want to know everything.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna look up Marathi real quick.
Toughness 4. Toughness 5. Toughness 6. You say? Wait, he can't possibly be toughness 7, Rob.
I zoned out. What was the question?
Oh my god, I have it. It's T7.
Toughness
Weapon
7.
skill 2, ballistic skill 5, strength 7, toughness 7, 12 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, 2 up armor save. He has a damage table, so he goes to strength 6, then strength 5, but he gains attacks because he's angry. So he goes from 5 to 6 to 7 attacks, which is fine because his weapon is a ×2 power claw that hits on 2s, -4 for 4 damage. So even at strength 5, he's still strength 10, which is wounding everything in the game on 2s and 3s. He's got your normal orc rules, Great Wah, the boss is watching. And then he's got this 4-up invul save, and he can only lose a maximum of 4 wounds in each phase. He's got a Goff's rule where he reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made with melee weapons by Goff models within 6. And then he's got the Grand War Boss, and you can put him into any army without that detachment losing its clan cultures.
So he fits into any clan, doesn't break clan. That is fucking sick.
Yeah, so
but doesn't he have
orcs you're currently playing? You can
doesn't he also have an aura of +1 attacks, all orcs, regardless of clan?
Yes, that's part of Great Wall.
Infantry, I believe.
Yeah, it's part of Great Wall.
So he's a fucking beast, and with this, you can only take 4 wounds a phase. We've already discussed it a few times throughout the tactics class today on the pregame show. So he can obviously die in 1 turn, right? You can hit him in the psychic phase. You can hit him in the shooting phase. You can hit him in the close combat phase. You can hit him in Overwatch. Like, there's a lot of ways to do wounds to him to get 12 wounds through. All users said and done. Like, most mortal wound powers target the closest. Like basic ass, movement. He's not going to be the closest. So you have to rely on sniper powers. And not everyone has nearly as easy of a time manifesting those as other people. So like you look, Chaos can do it really well. Elder has some tricks. Grey Knights, obviously, they fuck in the psychic phase. There's a couple people out there who do some stuff, right? And as far as the Overwatch goes, that's not really going to be a problem because you're not going to say Ghazghkull charges first.
You gotta sneak somebody in there.
So that's standard play right there. As far as the shooting phase goes, he is not an infantry model. He is a monster. You can't jump him, but you can teleport him. 1 CP stratagem. He fits the power level. He's only 14 power level. He can just show up on turn 2, 9 inches away, which is faster and more forward momentum than his 7-inch movement characteristic would allow for. Basically taking your turn 1 shooting from him. So you start on turn 2, you didn't do any damage to him. And now his orcs are in position and he's launching the wall. He doesn't care about charging right away if he doesn't have, if it's not easy. He just mitigated a turn. You know, it's going to be a good combination. He's a fucking beast, man. And what did he do? You said he does 4 flat damage with his claw?
Yep.
Fuck. And he obviously, you can hit him with the Fist of Gork and shit like that. Like, rerolls his own ones. Like, he will murk anything. He has so many rules.
But this is just the rules we know thus far too. There's going to be a whole like suite of orc rules.
There's going to be stratagems and relics and stuff like that. There's like that. I mean, there's going to be more. Now, currently as it is, you can teleport this guy. And when big bad motherfuckers showed up and they were able to be teleported because of Denizens of the Warp stratagem from the Demon Codex, I want you guys to remember that's the first and ever instance of a FAQ saying defining faction the lines. Like there's 2 lines for keywords, and they were like, okay, this codex's stratagems are only available to demonic keyword on the faction line. Even though the main rulebook it said there's functionally no difference between those lines. So that was kind of a big deal when people were like, well, I can deep strike Mortarion and Magnus with Denizens of the Warp, right? So is he going to be on that level? Is he going to be on that threat level? Is he going to have that many tools? Are they going to, go back on teleporting and what he's allowed to do in the future? I don't know.
Well, we had this conversation before when the Orc Codex came out, and we thought for sure they would change the teleporter rule, and they didn't. So you can still teleport literally any orc unit. So I think that was intended to be able to be done. So, like, I'd say optimistically that they're not going to change it just because of Thraka. Because, I mean, like, you can teleport a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut, you can teleport a Bonebreaker battle wagon with a bunch of Meganobs inside, all this stuff. So I think it's intended, like, you can't jump him. That's a pretty big one. And, he has to wait until turn 2, just like everything else that deep strikes. So I really don't think it warrants a change.
But just being able to deep strike something that you don't want people. So he also has his little buddy, right? The suspiciously lucky guy.
Yeah,
Makari.
And so that guy's cool. He's a 2-up invulnerable. He can actually like lock this shit up and like chase it down. And like he can kind of like stun lock certain models.
He can hide out too, like, and just hold objectives and shit.
He's pretty interesting. But he also, while alive, grants Ghazghkull a 6-up Funeral Pain. Which is pretty good. So when you think about the points on this guy, we don't have the points yet, but GW's been really spicy with points lately, and he has 14 power level, and we can look at a lot of things in the game with the 14 power level. I don't see this guy being more than 200 points. He's not Magnus. He's not Mortarion. Or more, actually, Magnus is vastly overpointed now. He was the first big guy. The points are wrong for him. Mortarion is even a little too expensive, in my opinion, in the modern era. But Mortarion is 18 wounds, is a 4-up invulnerable, is a 5-up feel no pain. He is himself a psyker. He has access to 3 codexes worth of tricks and stuff. The man has the fly keyword. The man can go 24 inches and charge you turn 1. He can activate like Blades, Virulent Blessing, Veteran Long War. That dude can clear a 30-man squad, like, and kill a fucking knight. Like, so he's a different thing, right? But I do believe Ghazghkull I think he's going to be like 190, 200 points. He will slide into your really successful orc horde that you're playing right now that you're having fun with and make it better. He is a threat.
They're going to want people to buy him for sure. They're going to do very similar to what they did with the Lord Discordance, where they're spicy priced to buy and put in your army.
Yeah. And also we have a new rule mechanic. 4 wounds in a phase. For 40K.
I wanted to talk about that. That support over from Sigmar. Marathi has that, but it's per turn and it's only 3. So they kind of took it to the next level, put it on 4, but also per phase.
The last time we got a new mechanic, it was can't be wounded on 1, 2s, or 3s. And we're like, that's pretty neat. Let's see what happens. Well, it's everywhere now. It's a stratagem, warlord traits, relics, vows. Like, it is a good mechanic. So this mechanic is an interesting way to keep baller ass dudes from just insta dying on turn 1. So I like it. I think it's strong. I think he's going to be a spicy point cost, and I think he's going to fucking terrify people as he runs across the battlefield. I mean, like, he's pretty safe to deploy, but with a stratagem to let me show up on turn 2 anyway for a guy who only moves 7 inches, you're going to catch me teleporting this guy like most of the time.
Hopefully that sticks.
And nobody's going to have, in this whole, like, you can't teleport within 12 inches of me. Everybody who has one of those rules to put those guys in positions that matter puts them at the turn 1 charge to the orc horde. Like, it doesn't matter. So you're not going to zone this one guy's placement that without.
It's almost like a triple threat. Like, if you bring guys in, you're on a clock. Your dudes are already running up. You did jump somebody. Like, you've got 3 like legit threats.
I mean, you could play the classic 90 boys and 90 storm boys. Like, still, and then this guy just shows up and he's like, "Clan, hey, what's up, my evil son homies?"
Follow me.
I'm just gonna show up.
Take a bone breaker out of my old orc list to put Gaz in there. Still function the same. Be awesome.
That would be so fucking tight.
The old Fury Road.
The old Fury Road list. Oh God, I gotta revisit that list.
Such a fresh model.
Yes. So let's talk about and the reason to the chat. The reason I came up with my point cost is like I'm using a Lord Discordant as my base point. The Lord D is 12 wounds. Ghazghkull is 12 wounds. The Lord D has a 5-up invulnerable. Ghazghkull has a 4-up. The Lord D has a 2-up. Ghazghkull has a 2-up. Ghazghkull has a conditional 6-up feel no pain. Got it. Lord D moves 12 inches. Ghazghkull moves 7. The Lord D has pretty much just as much kill power. Maybe not as much punching a fucking Knight Titan in the face, but you'd be surprised with what you can do with the Lord D's glaive attacks, stalker attacks, and injector attack, especially when a Lord D isn't locked into warlord traits and relics. He can take any combination and he can change his legion for even more spiciness, right? He regenerates a wound every turn. Ghazghkull doesn't, right? He has access to psychic powers like 5-up feel no pain. He has access to moving twice. He has access to advancing and charging. He has access to a 14-inch move. He has access to a -1 to hit. Access to, like literally a Lord D is a great way to look at what Ghazghkull is. Lord D can be shot at. He has all those abilities. Spicy 160 points.
Yep. No, I 100% agree. And I think they're going to want him to sell. Like,
I can see him.
He was 235.
I mean, I can see him being more expensive for sure, but I predict GW will put him in spicy 200 at the most, just because that's what they do now.
I don't think they'll make him more than he was pointed before, but then they might. But look, this is what we assume, but we haven't seen the rest of the book yet. But then we'll see the points cost too. But then it might be apparent if there is a price adjustment or a points adjustment. He's coming in at 300. Well, why is he coming in at 300? And then you start looking at the rules. Oh, okay, I get it. Or something like that. Rules
interaction has to be.
Did you say erection?
Rules erection. I get a lot of rules erections.
Yeah, you do.
But the Lord D gets all those things plus rules interactions for only 160 points. Like, Ghazghkull has this, you can't wound me more than 4 times a phase. That's his damage mitigator, right? but he also isn't. He also only moves to 7 inches. You know.
Oh Lord, he coming.
So like, I can straight up see it, but like also, I mean, for his rules, I'd still pay 300. Like, nah, I wouldn't. I'd fucking leave him out of my army.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I wouldn't play him. He's not enough for 300 for me. Like same thing with the Lord D. The Lord D was 200. If it went from 160 to 200, I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't give a shit about him. So, but what about Ragnar? So you just told me, Wyatt, that this dude bitch slaps Ragnar.
Yeah, so Ragnar is cool. Don't get it twisted. Like, he is a baller. So, 2 up weapon skill, 2 up ballistic skill. But then he's a Space Marine captain. So strength 4, toughness 4, 6 wounds. He does have quite a few attacks at 7. I mean, it's 3 up armor save. And then a 4 up invul save, which is like a Space Marine captain. And one of his big deals is Berserker Rage. So whenever he procs Shock Assault, he gets 3 attacks instead of 1 extra attack. So he has 10 attacks on the charge. And there's other rules that we can talk about
10 attacks
later.
the first round of close combat.
Yeah, so without some other stuff, like 10 attacks, right? His sword swings at strength 6. It's -4 AP and does 2 damage. So if he hits all, wounds all, and you fail all your saves, 20 damage coming out of this guy, right? Here's the issue. You charge him into Ghazghkull, he's going to do 4 wounds, even if I fail all of my saves, and he has a 4 up invul as well. So you may not even fail all of them, and he has feel no pains. Regardless, he's taking 4 damage, and then Thraka attacks. Ragnar has to fail 2 saves out of Ghazghkull hitting him with upwards of 7 attacks, depending on what his bracket is, and then like the other rules he's got. Ragnar fails 2 saves, he is super dead because he has no feel no pain.
He has to come back. He has to hit him from the top rope.
I mean, he will, and then Ghazghkull will like take it to the jaw, and he'll do that slow movie villain turn back, and then he'll just like slap him into the ground like a fucking Looney Tune and hammer his head in there like a nail, and then he's dead.
Oh, you mean like the Hulk did to Loki?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another green guy disrespecting another vaguely Viking guy. Yes, exactly.
So, but he fucks. He fucks. Like, I love having dudes in my army, like certain types of like midfield clears. Somebody who can just shut down a unit. Like, fucking Ragnar does that. He goes in there, he's like, this unit's done. He also hurts tanks, like standard tanks. Like, he is a great unit that you can do more than one thing, provide some buffs. He runs up, he can't be targeted, relatively small, and he's going to have a really reasonable point tag. Like, it's going to be sick.
I think so unless he has 4 wounds left, do not charge him with Ragnar. You will regret it.
You will be sad.
Yep, sad days.
But I'm really excited to see what kind of new stratagem Space Wolves get too. They got.
I'm sure they will get some cool ones.
We saw that they have exploding 6s in for their assault doctrine, which is real fucking good. That's a solid buff.
Yeah, then there's a stratagem where a character can get exploding additional hits on a 4 or better. So you can get a lot more attacks with Ragnar because you're swinging 10 times, and if any of those are 4s, it's an additional auto hit. So he could get a lot of attacks. So I mean, if you're really lucky and maybe have some rerolls, you might be able to take out a Night Titan with him. But not Gaz. Not Gaz.
It's a good time to be, because these 2 factions, Space Wolves and Orcs, are driven by a fanatical fan base, like Black Templar level fanatical fan base. Like the people who are Black Templar fans are just all have the fucking Maltese cross tattooed on them somewhere with some purity seal. You know what I mean? Like literally, these guys love. This is a good time. 2 fanatical fan based supported armies in the same book coming out with their heroes getting new models and new rules.
Yep. Orcs are orc fanatics are a different breed, man. Like I respect them, so I love me some orcs, but at the same time, only orc players would whine about a brand new Ghazghkull model, not like before it even comes out.
A lot of I've seen some whining.
Oh, a lot. Like orc fanatics are like that's like what they do apparently. Like I remember Orktober, and man, the salts that were mined from those guys' tears could have filled the Dead Sea.
Orktober? I don't remember Orktober. Are you speaking about Orkvember?
Yeah, Orkvember, Orktober.
Oof,
God, GW comes out with the
fired.
coolest promotional campaign ever. Right? It's so fucking good, right? When they did that. And then they gave us that Speed Freak box set. And then they didn't even acknowledge October existed last year. Like they didn't like they missed out on this amazing opportunity to make this like an annual thing. Mistake.
It might be to logistics though, because they could at least do some sort of theme, like
Anything could have been.
anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, honestly, I think they were like, well, this was a bad idea. Look at how much these guys are whining about it. And they're just like, well, let's not do that again.
Well, the community took it back. So, we ran obviously October last year on the platform, worked with like Creature Caster, Spellcrow, Mantic, several other.
Pretty much everybody had an October.
Yeah, man. Like October is here to stay, man. We had our amazing t-shirt run where we even ran the Waltan Clan shirt, which is, was October exclusive. But I'm saying it right here. As soon as guys go hit shelves on that day, the Waltan Clan shirt goes back in stock for 7 days. So this is the Waltan Clan's march to war. And I'm going to have to paint Ghazghkull.
Yep, it's exciting.
And there's narrative. Like you're the one who explained to me that his head was Frankenstein back onto that new body.
Which I didn't even know that his head had been cut off. Like last I heard, he was like the avatar of Gork and Mork and was going around just like smiting fools with his newfound psychic powers. And then apparently he got his head cut off. And then a Mad Doc like sewed it back onto this behemoth that he is now.
I love it because in our narrative for the Waltan Clan, the war boss, he was on a bike at first, right? And it was awesome. And then the next year we did the Creature Caster one, and you guys have seen the Creature Caster. Dude has like this V8 engine arm. So then the narrative, he crashed a bike, got fucked up. Then a mech boy and a pain boy came together and put him back together with his own parts from his own bike. And then when he was done with all that and he healed up, he got on a dragon and flew away. That was our final narrative. Now, the dragon got shot down. He fell back to Earth. His head got ripped off. And now we have Ghazghkull.
Yep.
Finally, the Wu-Tang Clan is nothing to fuck with as it rides for the last Wa. I just realized that Wa is orc saying war.
Yeah. Took you a while on that one?
I was today, 7:31 Pacific Standard Time, March 18th, 2020, when I realized that.
Today
That's all
years
that
old.
was.
Got it.
Today years old.
See, I was thinking that it should be like a collaboration, and that he should be the notorious GUK.
I can get behind that. But that's really all we have, man. We just have Ragnar. We just have Mr. Ghazghkull, Beauty and the Beast.
We'll know more this weekend.
When do we know when the box hits his shelves?
I think it's pre-ordered Saturday, and it'll be out the 28th. I want to say 21st.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure that part of their grand plan was to have this for sale at Adepticon.
I mean, that would have lined up. Yeah. Woulda, shoulda.
Oh God, I got a comment. Long ship loft. He'll need to protect his neck in the future.
That's
Wise words. prophecies of the Wyatt clan.
I mean, he followed the first rule of drug dealing. He has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
He has a whole gun arm.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get high on his own supply, which is why his head got chopped off.
He didn't protect his neck.
Yeah, maybe he'll learn.
He's back.
Because I mean, like, he is technically dealing in mushrooms.
Fucking love it. That's all I got. You got any PSAs? Anything people need to know about? We talked about Titan Forge, Secret What Miniatures, Crafters, Makers.
Wash your hands. Take a shower every day. Do laundry.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
A lot of those things you said, I don't do.
Well, that's why I'm telling you. So you know now. Yeah, do.
You're an adult.
Things. You tell me I take a shower every day. Is that truly necessary?
Yes.
You have a lot of hair. It probably is.
As we have seen in other places around the world, people who do not take a shower every day have reaped the consequences.
We call that the poopy butt.
That's true.
Okay. Everything you said checks out, lines up with my life, that, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I forgot to buy eggs. Dang it.
That reminded you to buy eggs?
Yep.
What part was it? Poopy or butt?
Smelly.
Well, he's a lizard person, so he lays eggs.
Cannot confirm that.
I mean, after the podcast, you're gonna slip out of your human suit and go get on your heat rock and take a nappy.
By heat rock, you mean place the cats on top of me to form a cat pile.
Yeah,
so that I can stay warm.
Yep.
Correct.
All right. Well, I'm done talking. I want to mute myself.
Fine. All right. Well, that is it for this one. Make sure to head on over to longwar.net and become a veteran of the Long War today.